President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, gobble, gobble, happy Thanksgiving. How is everything?
Well, that's what melatonin said over the weekend because it was our, prenuptially agreed upon weekend of powerful lovemaking. So, well, she said it in whatever language she says it in, but, so obviously it was I would call it a very happy Thanksgiving.
So the Thanksgiving was good. Did you get together with family? What went down? I know you were.
No, I said melatonin went down.
I understand that. Did you get together with your whole family? Was Jared there? Was
Well, no, as I said, I think I said it.
Ivanka?
Excuse me. I think I
Yes.
said it to maybe this is news for the cheap people who are part of the podcast. I said to the Perfect 10 Patreon patriots
That's right.
that I had a sensual, romantic father-daughter dinner with Ivanka. In our family, it's a strong tradition, which is, the night before Thanksgiving, unless you're the great Fred Trump, the night before Thanksgiving, you rest. Then Thanksgiving, you have a sensual, one-on-one, private, seductive father-daughter. I get emotional.
It's
Dinner with your daughter.
Yes.
I usually don't get this emotional so quickly.
It just
into
happened,
the show.
Mr. President. It just
But
happened.
we don't talk about Ivanka that much. We don't talk about her enough, I would say. And then the Friday, which some people call Black Friday because of the blacks. For melatonin, it's Black Friday because we do very dark, devious things. So you get the whole family, you get the whole sort of family experience, and then I rest on Saturday and think about going to church on Sunday and don't, and then we're back to work. We're back to work for the American people, the ones that voted for me.
Now, Mr. President, I wanted to share some great news with you. Besides you having a fantastic Thanksgiving, some ratings came in from different countries. I want to let you know we are the 10th podcast in comedy in Dominican Republic. We are number 10 in comedy in Dominican Republic. We are also number 71 in all of Dominican Republic. We are 15th in comedy in Armenia. We are 33rd in Latvia.
Well, excuse me. The reason we've done so well in Armenia is because of my great relationship with Kim Kardashian.
So you think the Kardashian relationship has boosted the ratings there?
Well, what would you say? I don't think there's any other reason. When you in Armenia, they're a very proud culture, and when you receive oral to free a black from prison from an Armenian, it's a sign of great respect in their culture. So I think that's why we've been doing so well there.
You become a hero of the country when that happens?
I don't know if a hero might be, maybe me, but, I think generally, I don't know if you get hero status just for that. But, when it's Kim Kardashian and you're the president, they obviously show great respect. But I'm actually, since I'm not racist, I'm thrilled about the Dominican Republic. I'm actually thrilled about that because I've done great outreach. As you know, I'm great friends with the great Dominican pitcher, Mariano Rivera. Okay.
But he's not from the Dominican Republic. He's from Panama. So
no, I don't know whatever city he's from in the Dominican Republic is fine.
But it's okay.
Well, I'm saying, excuse me.
It's not the Dominican Republic.
Okay. We need to go through sort of a Latino geography lesson with the tech stuff guy.
Okay.
There's Mexico, there's Puerto Rican Mexico, and then there is the Dominican Republican Party.
And that covers.
And that's where Panama and many of the countries, but Panama is part of the Dominican Republican Party. But that's, of course, right. I mean, of course they went for me. I know the baseball players. Sammy Sosa, he tried to become white because he loves the Republicans so much. He's Dominican Republican. And
I don't think what you were saying, the whole Dominican Republic is like a real
It's pronounced Dominican Republican.
Right, but I don't think it's. I think you made that up.
Made what up?
That there is a Dominican Republican, like you, the term you're making up. It's Dominican
It's
Republic,
not a
and it's
term.
not.
It's called a country. It's called a country. Not as good as our country, but I still respect it. And by the way, obviously this is your first time on the show, and it's going to be your last because what I'm, excuse me, what I'm hearing from you is great disrespect for a country that clearly loves your president's show. Isn't that nice? They love the show, and you're there disrespecting their great athletes like Matthew Rivera, the great pitcher,
You're
Steven Sosa, and the Dominican Republican Party, which is a very strong supporter of your president, whether you like it or not. Okay.
I just want to know where you got those facts from.
Well, you just told, where are you getting your facts? You just read the data, and I'm telling you why the Dominicans love us because they're a strong Republican Party.
But that's not a Republican Party. That's not true.
I'm waiting for the next question because we've clearly established that you are fake news and that the Dominican Republican Party is strong fans of the president. And I don't know why you would join a presidential show and then spend the whole time trying to tear down the greatest and last president in American history because I have strong support from the Dominican Republicans.
Okay, the Dominican Republicans. So, I don't know if you heard, but President-elect Joe Biden
We,
broke.
since it's your first time, excuse me, we
Yeah.
call him fake President Sleepy Joe on this
Okay.
show.
So I don't know if you heard that fake President Sleepy Joe fractured his foot playing with his dog.
And did you see how they tried to call it a sprained ankle? Do you see how the fake news is already covering for him?
It says
They
fractured.
started
I said
they
fractured.
started No, you said that. I give you
Okay.
credit very rarely. That's the first point. You're now negative 10 for the episode. You got 1 point. No, the fake news last night. It appears Sleepy Joe has sprained an ankle. And then it turns out he broke his foot like a sleepy old sack of shit. And this is what they're going to do for the Sleepy Joe presidency. Oh, Donald Trump said no. And they're going to say, oh, he said a racial slur. Sleepy Joe falls down the stairs. Turns out he died. They're going to always say these things that are not true. And I'm sorry. I think it's a total disgrace. You can't have a president who he can't even walk. We now have elected, fake elected, a sleepwalking. We're calling him Sleepwalking Joe. And you shouldn't walk and be president while you're sleeping. And it's a total disgrace. And the fake news, oh, he clipped a toenail. No, it turns out he's having the foot amputated. That's what that. In
He's
another
not.
day, it'll be that he's diabetic and has no feet and is going blind. That's the story in a day. You'll
He's
see
not.
that. Excuse me. You'll see how the fake news operates. I've been taking such an unfair beating from the press, and I can take it, but they're so disgraceful. Meanwhile, Sleepy Joe is currently dead, and they're saying, "Oh, he has a stub toe from Sleepy Joe."
Mr. President.
Sir,
Mr. President, sir, you never did that to me before.
well, you know what? I've never met you before, so welcome to the show.
Well, the thing is, with the fractured foot that he has, there's a thing called the walking boot, and once you're put in the walking boot, you can walk around and get around with it. It's not a problem, and it heals within a few weeks. So I just want to let you know that he's not like crippled where he can't get around.
No, no, it's of course, by all means, join the fake news. And then he'll have cataract surgery, and you'll say, oh, look at his tough Terminator sunglasses that he has to wear because he's so badass, Sleepy Joe. And then they'll put, like, he'll have a bypass surgery for his old heart, and you'll go, look how tough he is. He's having heart surgery because he's so strong. And he'll poop his pants, and you'll go, he eats pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You're gonna say everything nice. Everything is always nice with Sleepy Joe. Our country is a total hellhole now.
How do you think do you think he was running with the dog? Do you think he tripped over the dog? Do you think he tripped on something that he was that he didn't see on the floor. How do you think it happened?
Well,
What's your
OAN
prediction?
is OAN is reporting that Sleepy Joe was trying to fuck the dog. And I think there's a lot of evidence for that. He was trying to have sexual contact with the dog. The dog turned around and said, "No, thank you." Notice the dog didn't call him sir. And, ran, and Joe, trying to molest the dog, tripped and broke his ankle or foot, whatever the fake news is reporting.
So you think he was trying to take advantage of the dog and got hurt in the process?
I think it seems that way. And
What?
now notice Sleepy Joe and his wife have announced they're adopting a cat. Because I figure Sleepy Joe now, and this is OAN reporting this, as well as Newsmax reported this next part, that he wants to have sex with the cat, and the cat can't put up the same fight as the dog. We've adopted a sleepy beastie. That's what Sleepy Beastie Joe. That's what we're now calling him at OAN.
Mr. President, I don't know what evidence in the past shows that Joe Biden is into bestiality. I
OAN, I recommend you watch OAN. They are reporting very strong facts.
Where do they get their facts?
I send them tweets.
So they take your tweets and then interpret them
Well,
as
not my
facts.
tweets. I send them strong tweets from
Oh,
Twitter.
so you send them
There's a very
Twitterverse.
informative account from somebody called. The account is at Joe Bangs Dogs, and they've got tremendous intel
So Joe Bangs Dogs gives you your information.
on
Okay.
Sleepy Joe banging dogs.
Now, how do you think the American people view it? I mean, he does have two rescue dogs. He is a president who
Yeah, well,
doesn't.
they all need to be rescued from Sleepy Joe. If you just heard what I'm telling you,
He doesn't have a golden retriever. He doesn't have purebreds. He has two rescue dogs. I don't think he would by rescuing dogs. I don't think he would have sex with them, Mr.
you
President.
know what they call, according to OAN, you know what they call Sleepy Joe at the dog shelters?
I'm so scared. What do they call
Jerry Sandusky.
him? That's his nickname at the dog shelters.
At the dog shelters, they say, "Oh no, Sandusky's here for another rescue pup."
So if he was so bad and people knew this, wouldn't they stop letting him adopt dogs?
Well, he's very powerful. Remember when I said, when you're famous, you can grab him by the pussy? That I
Right.
wasn't talking about myself. I was talking about what Sleepy Joe is known to do at animal rescue places. Now the truth can finally come out.
Mr. President, I don't think the news that you're getting is completely factual. I think he was really just probably playing with his dog or running around with a dog. He's an older man, probably tripped, fell on his ankle the wrong way, fractured it. That's what I think happened. I don't think there was any sexual intercourse or anything like
Well,
that
there
happening with
wasn't,
the dogs.
because you know what? But if this was 50-year-old Sleepy Joe, he wouldn't be so sleepy. I think the one thing that saved the dog was that Sleepy Joe is sleepy.
So you think that he's old and sleepy, so his I don't, his animal raping game is not on point anymore. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You know, he's really into just heavy petting with pets. That's really all he can muster now out of his Sleepy Joe body. But I guarantee you, when Sleepy Joe was 60, he was probably trying to 69 some dogs.
I don't think he's doing
You
it.
can look, excuse me, you can look it up. OAN has a special report.
But isn't it weird that OAN is the only place that you will get your news from?
Why would that be weird?
I don't know. Usually people get their news from a variety of places. You
Oh,
know,
well, you know what? In 2016, Donald Trump is going to lose. Donald Trump is going to lose. Donald Trump is going to lose. And the only people who didn't say that were the women at OAN that I
didn't
was
Fox
having
give you a
sexual
chance?
relations with.
Oh,
Excuse me?
Didn't Fox give you a chance? In
Well, not a real chance. Not a real chance. And then I won. So it's not always about what everybody's saying. I'm just reporting. I'm not making this up. I am simply reporting what at least the Mapigas and the Mapiggers should know, which is Sleepy Joe. There is strong evidence that Sleepy Joe is adopting pets from shelters and having powerful sexual relations with them.
So what you're trying to tell the American people is that if you go to a Joe Biden rally and you go to meet him, it's okay for him to kiss your baby, but make sure you have your dog on a tight leash.
You know, I don't even like dogs. Okay.
Okay.
I don't like dogs. But I would not let the worst pit bull owned by the scariest black anywhere near Sleepy Joe Biden.
All right. Well, that settles it. Mr. President, this sponsor, not very scary, powerful, strong, betonline.ag.
Well,
Another week, Mr. President.
no better way after a 6-minute discussion of Sleepy Joe taking advantage of animals than to go right to our sponsor. It's great
Exactly.
work.
Exactly. People are listening. Betonline.ag, where I bet all my sports there. NFL football continues on this week, even with all the COVID. They're figuring out how to play the games. They're surprise teams winning every single week. You can't even, there's literally 3 teams that are consistent in the NFL this year, and all the COVID is messing up all the teams. Have you seen this, Mr. President?
I have, and I want to get back to a place where we lose players to concussions and brain trauma than COVID. I want our
And
country
arrests.
back.
And arrests.
Well, I didn't think I had to say that.
But you can still bet in on all the action on betonline.ag. No matter how the schedules change or players that play, betonline is going the extra mile to make sure you can get on every single game this season, even when the football games are played on Tuesday. With the fastest updated odds in the industry, there are
It's
also
pronounced industry.
industry. My apologies. Also, there's a casino, so you can play poker, you can play blackjack, you can bet on all the sports. There's future props. It's awesome. It's the best place to bet on sports. There are always more options to wager there than anywhere online. Head to betonline.ag today and take advantage of all the great midseason bonuses, offers, and contests. BetOnline, your online sportsbooks experts. That's betonline.ag, best sportsbook in the business. So, Mr. President, we're going to move on to our next topic, and that is the election results. Now, you,
Not done yet. Not done yet with the election, but no, they're coming in, and some of these fake Republicans are betraying their president. But we're doing some things are going well so far. We're happy.
well, I don't know if you heard the news today, but the last 2 states that have been confirmed, and that's Wisconsin and Arizona, have both been certified for a Biden win, and I think every state is finished. So you have there's nothing more to fight.
Well, I've been certified fresh by Rotten Tomatoes.
What does that have to do with
How
all
many
of this?
movies has Sleepy Joe been in? Not many.
What Home Alone 2 is certified fresh? Is that the movie that you're referring to?
Zoolander, Home Alone 2, all the classics.
Are you're going to have some extra time on your hands? I know you plan on announcing the 2024 run during the inauguration. Those are rumors going around. Do you plan on getting into any acting gigs or doing any TV work in the meantime
In the meantime, till what?
until 2024?
Well, I have to be president,
Mr. President, your presidency is
sir.
going. Mr. President, sir, your presidency ends in January at the inauguration. I'm not sure the exact date, but that's when it ends, and you'll be forced out of the White House. You're not
That's
longer
what
no longer president.
that's what you think.
What do you have secret plans?
I do.
Would you like to share any of them with us today?
Then they won't be secret.
Well, just between me and you, we can go off the podcast record if you'd like.
We'll go off the podcast record.
All right, we're off. What is your secret plan?
I'm not leaving.
You're just gonna stay there. But Secret Service, I think,
When
are
the Mountain Dew Army realizes that their president's not leaving, they will rally to me.
so it's going to be like those zombie movies or vampire movies where you're like the lead vampire and you like make your eyes flicker and then the whole Mountain Dew army just comes marching into Washington for you.
Right, except when I tweet a
That's
topless photo of Ivanka, that's the eye flicker. The equivalent to whatever you're talking
I
about.
understand. You never seen like the lead zombie or the lead vampire? They always have control over the vampires or zombies underneath them. So that's okay. All I'm saying is that I don't think you can just stay in the White House. I think Secret Service, once your time is up, I think they're instructed to remove you. You'll be removed by the Secret Service that was protecting you.
No, what happens is, thankfully, because I plan ahead, melatonin has given powerful sexual favors to my Secret Service team. So they are very loyal. Okay. Slovenian, once you go Slovenian, you protect Trump.
So they're double agents. It's going to be like in the movies where they say, "Get that man," and then they're both all going to turn to Biden and just grab him, and you're just going to laugh.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that idea.
Okay, well you can take it. It's fine.
Well, I did take it.
All right, I understand.
Yeah, I don't need your permission to take great ideas.
Now, Mr. President, this is not on the schedule, but I do want to know about this. The COVID surges are, I think it's 3 million in the past couple of weeks. Congratulations, I guess. But
Double diamond. We're going for double, and I think we're going to get double diamond. And you know what double diamond is for short?
double D's.
Double D's. And that's when we'll have achieved our master plan.
Mr. President, it's just strange that it's affecting the American people, and you say that you are here to defend the American people, the people who voted for you. The people who voted for you are the people who are being infected left and right. Now, that means you'll lose voters for 2024 if more keep dying. And then also, if you were supposed to protect them from COVID, they get sick. They
My
might
troops, my Mountain Dew troops have been instructed that if you test positive for COVID, to immediately go to your nearby Democratic places and start coughing and pissing everywhere.
So you instructed them
just
to be
in
super
case
spreaders.
Just in case it can be passed through piss as well. We're learning new things every day.
So you're just covering all ends and all your bases by just trying to become super spreaders and infect anyone who's anyone who's a Democrat. Is that what you're saying?
We are calling it Operation Suicide Bomb Patriotism.
It's a long one.
And as long as you are not Muslim, it does not count as terrorism.
Is that a new law or just
executive order?
Okay, that's what I figured. Mr. President, realistically, Mr. President, sir, the COVID, they're saying that this surge could be bigger than the one that we had in May, which
right. Nobody thought. Okay, nobody thought I could do what I did earlier. And the greats don't say, "Oh, I accomplished." No, I want to beat my record every time.
So your goal,
and if Sleepy Joe tries to take credit for a third wave, if we have a third wave, I'm not letting him take credit for it. And by the way, everybody made fun of me back in March when I said I want to open up the economy by Easter. I didn't say what year. It's called Easter 2021, Trump Resurrection. Coming soon from Jim Crow Records with Ice Cube, Kanye, and Trump, and Lil Wayne.
You're gonna put Wayne on it?
Jim Crow Records. If you're tired of the producers dancing in the videos, come to Jim Crow.
Have you made Jim Crow records? Because I know you plan on going into some music. Is that your record company?
That's under the Trump Industries umbrella. That's our record label, Jim Crow Records.
Interesting. Very, very interesting, Mr. President. But the
But the
COVID,
logo, it's very subtle. It's spelled with a G, and the logo is a very buff crow.
that's,
If there are any artists out there in our listeners who want to draw the president a picture of Jim Crow, we would respectfully accept.
now, Mr. President, in all seriousness,
With orange hair on top. So I mean yellow, blonde hair on top. So that the, that's what we're looking for.
should the crow have orange complexion on the face at all?
I think it should have a strong pout. I think maybe it could have. I think it should be black fur or feathers, whatever they have, with powerful, naturally blonde hair and muscles.
Okay.
And his name is Jim Crow. And our first album is going to be Ice Cube, Kanye, and Lil Wayne.
It's a great album, actually. I'd love to hear the tracks. And you're going to be on it too, or are you just producing?
Well, you know me, I have more bars than Puff Daddy, so I'm going to have to do some guest verses. But I would say, we're already coming up with track titles, and we're gonna, we're in the lab, we're in the studio putting the beats together, and I think there's gonna be some great songs.
I'd love to hear a track title or two if you can tell us.
Well, one is called "I Own Candace." Instead of Candace Owens, it's like "I Own Candace." And in the video, we've already shot the video. Candace Owens agreed to it, and she was a great sport. I walk her around on a leash
And she agreed to this
around the plantation, and it was very powerful. It's a very symbolic video with great strength.
Sounds like great strengths or extremely racist, one or the other.
No, not racist. It was not racist at all.
You
I didn't on camera. I never said the N-word, so it was totally racist free.
Mr. President, your music video is having a black woman on a collar and leash being walked around a plantation. You don't think that has any racist connotation whatsoever?
No, because the video starts with Candace Owens saying, "Please put this leash around my neck and walk me around this plantation."
That's the opening line of the video.
Right. And I thought it would be rude not to. I'm a gentleman.
You are a gentleman. That's very nice of you, Mr. President. So the COVID levels, have no effect.
Another
on
track
you.
title is Lunch Mob.
Lunch Mob.
Get it? Because we're having lunch. It's a lunch mob.
I got it. Is there any kind of diss track to AOC and the squad?
Well, I didn't want to get into that. Well, we have an actress who's playing AOC in one of the videos.
Okay, tell me about it.
The track title is called Motorboats, Government Motorboats. And the video is about basically, this young Latina with glasses is giving everybody our yachts. Everybody's getting, it's about socialism, and it's also about breasts. And all our boats, Kanye's boat is being sold, just given away to some, Democrat, and then Ice Cube's boat. And then they try to give away my boat, and I show up and I stop. And that's when we get into some interesting action.
All right. I can't wait to see I'm excited that there are videos to all the songs. And
well, we're copying Beyonce. They call it a visual album where you have like 13 tracks and then 13 videos. We're using the funds I'm raising for the voter fraud. We're just using those funds to make the videos.
that makes sense. Now, Mr. President, I want to mention a person's name. I want you to tell me what you think of this person. Chris Krebs.
I have no idea who that is.
He was your cybersecurity head of cybersecurity
Oh,
for
him. Good.
you.
No, strong guy. Very talented. Very good at his job. Why? Why do you bring him up?
You fired him,
Well, because he was
and
terrible at his job.
you just said he was great at his job and he was
No, I
awesome.
think. Excuse me. Okay. I think you can go listen back to what I said, and you'll see that I said he was terrible. It's called terrible at his
But
job.
right before you said he was great,
We
though.
were talking about AOC in the video. I don't.
Okay, I guess I misunderstood. But he said,
Excuse me.
hmm
I guess you did.
yeah, he said that.
Excuse me. You did misunderstand.
That's why I said
Excuse.
I
No, no.
misunderstood.
You're being rude now.
How am I being rude? I just said I misunderstood,
Okay.
meaning
Well,
it's
you
in
know
the
what? We're gonna
past. I
end it. We'll end
misunderstood.
this episode quickly. If this is how you're gonna talk
I'm agreeing with you.
in a disrespectful way.
No, I'm not. I'm
Is
just
there a
telling.
question, or are we good? Are we done?
Yes, there is a question here. Now, he said that the election was the most secure voting in American history. And he's your cybersecurity who you hired.
So, excuse me. So he thinks it was more secure than when 30 white guys had to vote for president? I don't think so. I think that was a lot more secure.
Okay. Maybe not from the first election, Mr.
Well,
President.
then he's a liar. And even tech stuff guy agrees. He's a total liar. Chris Krebs, disgusting liar.
Okay. Maybe you shouldn't have said ever. Maybe you should have said in the last 20 years or 30 years or something like that. Whatever it is that, Mr. President, you're grasping at straws here. Why can't you just, you know, turn the page? You do it in a very passive aggressive way where you say you're going to have a rally for your 2024 run, but you never mention that like you lost the election. But it's weird because you're going to run in 2024, but the only way to run in 2024 if you didn't win in 2020. But you refuse to say you lost. Why can't you just lose at something?
I can't lose at something because I'm very successful.
Even if everyone else in the world has told you lost at something, as long as you tell yourself you won, that's all that matters.
They once told Gay Leo that the sun revolved around the earth. And Galileo said, actually, it's the other way. And they all said, no, you're wrong. Well, it turns out the earth does revolve around the sun, and Galileo was, in fact, very Trump correct.
See, you're telling me that even though you did none of the research into this voting and have any real
Excuse me, you don't know what research I've done. I've done powerful research.
tell us about it.
Well, it's ongoing.
But every state has said it's closed and determined the winner of the
When the
2020
erect
election.
when the erection college meets
Yes.
and we put together all that, that's when we'll decide if there's a new president. But I think the erectors are going to make strong decisions and give me an erection.
Why do you keep using an R? It's election. Why do you keep using an R with it and say erection?
No, it's a different. We had an election, and now it's up to the erection college.
It's electoral college.
Tech stuff. We bring you here for your tech stuff, not for your political science nonsense.
It's
I
not
think I'm the president. I think I know what my government does, and
oh,
believe me, it's my government.
okay. That's fine. I'm not. I'll leave it at that. Mr. President, the last thing I wanted to bring up was this past weekend. Did you see the boxing matches that were on?
I saw my friend Mike Tyson. I didn't get to watch his. I knew he was fighting, but I didn't get to watch his. But I did see Jake Paul beat the shit out of Kevin Hart.
It wasn't Kevin Hart. It was former NBA player Nate Robinson. It wasn't Kevin Hart. They do resemble each other a little bit, but it was Nate Robinson. That was a brutal knockout. Did you see the knockout?
When I say What you have to understand is I'm a very heterosexual man, okay?
Okay.
But when I say that my Depends was full of Trump creamsicle, when I saw that tiny black get knocked out by that white power looking guy, I felt like I had won the election all over again.
So you're a fan of Jake Paul.
Who?
Jake Paul.
Who's that?
That's the guy who beat Nate Robinson. You
Oh,
said the
well,
white power.
Who beat Kevin Hart? Because that was the thing I
That's
was watching.
yes, Jake Paul beat who you think Kevin Hart is. Yes, but it's not really Kevin Hart. But yes, Kevin Hart lost to Jake Paul.
Oh well, you know what? Then Jake Paul, strong guy.
No, Jake Paul. Um, did you call him to congratulate him?
Well, we did some intel and we were looking into whether or not he had said some racial slurs, and it turns out he hasn't. So I declined the call.
Okay. Would you have him ever be a bodyguard for you or work security?
I think that could be arranged. Imagine we brought the Trump brand and the YouTube boxing community. That's a powerful combination.
It's a new empire right there, Mr. President.
We just have to see how Jim Crow Records feels about him because those are my N words from day one.
Jim Crow Records. I can't wait to see that album cover. If they put Little Wayne on it and Kanye and you, is Kid Rock going to make an appearance on that album? You always have to have the crossover song.
Okay, well here's the full picture that we can commission if we can find a strong artist. In the background of a field is our great Kid Rock as sort of a rock and roll scarecrow. And then we have the three crows like in Dumbo. Remember Dumbo where they took, by the way, when Disney Plus did the new Dumbo, which was not good, they took away the crows. They took away the great crows who were.
Weren't the crows supposed to be some sort of racism?
Well, I always thought of them as black people, and they took them out of the movie, and it was a total disgrace. It was offensive. Excuse me, I wanted them in the movie. Somehow that's racist to want African American crows in the movie.
No, but they were depicted as the reason why they were black is having them less than people, I think. So that's why they were crows.
What was Dumbo, Rosie O'Donnell?
No, Dumbo was just a flying elephant.
Well, okay. Anyway, we have the three crows, which could be. No, in fact, that's wrong. Excuse me. We then have three spider monkeys, not monkeys,
Uh,
spiders. Those are
whoever makes this
spiders.
up is gonna have no soul.
No, I think maybe just, you know what, we just have Kanye, Cube, and Wheezy, as they call them, there. And then we have Kid Rock, Scarecrow in the background. And right up front, with muscles and a strong, natural blonde hair and a pout with his beak. Try to make that happen. And that's Jim Crow Records
Jim Crow Records.
with a G. Remember, it's not racist if it's Jim like gym class.
is that Jim Crow Records like gym class?
Well, that's why he's buff. That was the joke. That's why the crow is very muscular.
I love that. That's fantastic, Mr.
And
President.
feel free to put some like 1980s mesh shorts on the crow.
Maybe a headband.
I think the headband would take away from the powerful blonde
You're
hair.
right. You need the blonde hair flowing. That's true. So, Mr. President, you're older, would you ever step into the boxing ring and who would you fight? I know you'd fight Joe Biden. It's been talked about before, but who
On
else?
the show, if you've listened to the show in the past, I said I would fight Sleepy Joe on the White House lawn, winner take all, stay in the White House.
Right, but besides Joe Biden, who would you fight?
Who would be fun to fight? Women or men? Is it all everybody's allowed?
Sure, yes. Women or men. You can fight whoever you want.
I think I would fight. You know who's annoying me?
Tell me.
Is this tall, skinny prick walking around the White House all the time. I think his name is Barton. I would teach that string bean a lesson and say, "Get the hell out of my house, you trespasser."
You would fight your own son?
Who?
He's your son. You and Melania have a child named Baron, who you always refer to, but you don't really know who he is. That's who you'd fight. And
Well, I
he's
would
young
fight.
and scrappy. He might be able to take you.
I would fight that tall piece of shit, but I don't know if I don't. I have other sons that notice I'm not fighting them, or I might fight Tiffany.
You're only gonna fight family members?
No, but they annoy me the most.
All right. I thought maybe you'd fight like Don Lemon, someone like that who always talks shit about you.
It's a good question, but he might, his buddy Chris Cuomo might come running in, try to interfere.
Like a WWE match?
Maybe. I think, who would I really want to fight? They'd have to be weak and smaller than me and dumber than me. Oh, I know who.
Who?
Jared Kushner.
It's perfect.
Fight to the death.
What does the winner get?
The winner gets all their dreams to come true.
Enough said. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us.
Sex with Ivanka
Okay, that's perfect.
is why I don't like Jared Kushner.
We know
He doesn't deserve her. He doesn't deserve her.
I know. With all the footage you've seen, it just doesn't do justice. It's a shame, Mr. President, but we appreciate you joining us once again this week, and thank you to betonline.ag. Also, our Patreon Patriots. If you're not a Patriot yet, patreon.com/MPGA. Pick what level is great for you. We have tons of bonus material, probably around 10 extra episodes for
Our November was one of the greatest content productions in the history of podcasting.
100%. So if you
Joe Rogan wishes he could do what we did.
Patreon.com/MPGA. Everyone who is a patriot, we appreciate you. You're a true MPGA. And everyone else, don't be a MPGer. Join up. Patreon.com/MPGA.
Excuse me, you're missing. No. Here's the way it goes. If you've left a 5-star review, you are a MPGA. If you have not left a 5-star review, you are a MPGer with a hard R. And if you join any of our Patreon content, you're a Patreon patriot. But if you join the Perfect 10 level, you are the best. It's that simple. And what I need to say to the people is, I know we've asked a lot. Okay, and some people said it was too expensive. Some people said they didn't care. I blocked some loser who was like trying to be very passive aggressive and show that he didn't really care too much about the show. And I said blocked. And then he found me on my YouTube channel and said many mean things. So obviously he cared. That's always fun to see. You get blocked and that you track down, just to prove how okay you are, you actually track down the person on another site just to let them know how
not a fan.
How you're not a fan. So it's wonderful. I hope he's not the president of Selena's fan club. But the point is, you guys, I think probably we make the hard sell, and it's Christmas month. If you want to tip the show, if you want to show some extra support, if you're able, that's great. But here's the thing. I'm talking as myself. I'm tired of talking as Trump. Thank you guys, all of you who've joined, everybody who's given a review. But, last reminder, there are free ways to support the show for sure. We get money can be tight. We appreciate every single listener we have, except for that one guy. But I would just say, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's really good. It's some people may be actually just consuming the podcast now that way, but subscribe to the YouTube channel. and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Those cost you $0 and probably take 1 minute out of your day to do those two things.
And you can find the YouTube channel on mpgapod.com
Yeah,
on the
all the
bottom.
links are there. We're on Instagram if you haven't been following, and Trump Pod, and but if you can join the Patreon, I think the best thing to do, I think, would be to join now. Hopefully you stay with us, but you would be able to sample a lot of stuff and really get a feel for, oh, this is what they put out every month. So December is a good month. I know this year sucks, but December is, of course, a good year to review stuff. If you get a little extra cash or you're getting gifts, gift it to yourself or tip the podcast if you really like us. We obviously have the t-shirts still at the website, and
I have another baby on the way, guys. We need it.
oh
Okay?
yeah. How about that?
A girl. I didn't tell you. Yes. Having a
Oh,
daughter. Yes.
Ivanka. You've got your Don Jr. Now you're having your Ivanka.
Ivanka
I wish you
Nog.
told us on the air next
know.
week, guys. Next week, family talk with the that might be a bonus episode.
Yes, for sure.
Family tips for the actually, that will be a bonus episode, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, sorry for the long banter, guys, but we do appreciate you. Whatever support you can give is appreciated. But if you can't give one of the paid forms of support by buying a t-shirt or getting the Patreon, make sure you've done that free stuff though. Subscribe to the YouTube and give us 5 stars on iTunes. That is very welcome support as well. So we never want to seem ungrateful or too grubby. That's all. So just, support if you can in a paid way. And if you can't, we more than welcome unpaid support as well, because boosting our YouTube channel and boosting the podcast through ratings has value to us. So thank you, everybody. December will be packed with lots of stuff. First episode of the month is, of course, the questions from Twitter and Instagram. That's another reason why you should follow us on both. Trump Pod on both platforms, because then you won't miss when it's time to ask questions. We'll have a bonus episode. We'll have movie reviews at the end of the month. We just put up the movie reviews, but I think I'm going to do Soul and Wonder Woman 1984 at the end of the month for the movie reviews. We'll have a live Q&A. Maybe I don't know. Should we do a Kwanzaa bonus?
Yeah, and maybe we'll have a guest or two this month.
Oh yes, of course. So, and use Twitter. We've got some people who are very engaged. And I'm sorry this is such a long, but we've got a lot of people who are engaged on the show in social media. But join the party is what I would say. Mm-hmm. Just follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We do a decent job, I think, of replying and liking. But yeah, anybody you'd like to see back, anybody you'd like to see us try to get, stuff like that. Feel free to communicate and share your thoughts. It's not just a one-way street here. So thank you. Congratulations, Jay.
Thank you.
And God help us all.